recently kind of stopped talking to a lot of my family members, and I feel like it's a really similar dynamic, even though it's very different from a, you know, romantic or like soulmate relationship. There's like a similar energy leaking or something that happens. So I was just like, I wonder if that's like kind of, you know,
still an important, still an important relationship. Oh, okay, I'm getting feedback.
Yeah, who's echoing?
Yeah.
Can you put in like headphones?
Yeah,
I got headphones in.
Might be me.
Yeah,
is it better?
Just
yeah.
I don't hear. No, I was just going to say it's still an important relationship, you know, family and stuff like that, especially on our twin flame journeys. I know just myself having cleared a lot of major blocks like from childhood.
Yeah.
So in our last book club meeting, we talked about how to deal with rejection, if I remember correctly.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And that was really cool. So what would it be this time then?
Like Alden was saying, like about like the different relationships, like soulmates and whatnot.
Yeah, how's a good way to summarize that? Like today we're going to talk about twin flames who are twin flames who have recognized each other, but one is with a soulmate, or one or both are, you know, in a false twin flame soulmate relationship. Is that too long?
Yeah, I mean, it's not long. It would kind of be like discerning like what's important to you know what I mean? Because if it's like blocking you and God, then obviously it's not important. But yeah, that's not too long. That's pretty much what we're going for.
Cool. Well,
okay, so
anything
I don't really know what I can say to this one, you know. But yeah, we will see.
Well, you're experiencing it too, so I would assume you've thought about that and would have something to say.
Fabian?
Yeah, true.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay, no, I was just going to say, I know Anastasia, you and your twin flame have identified each other, right, as twin flames?
Yeah.
Fabian, have you and your has your twin flame like accepted that you're her twin flame?
No, she doesn't believe in twin flames.
Oh,
damn.
Oh, really? I didn't realize that.
Me either.
Maybe she also doesn't believe in rainbows and puppies. Just kidding.
Unicorns.
Oh man.
okay.
Yeah,
She doesn't believe.
Yeah.
Oh no.
No.
Sorry.
It's a cool topic we can talk about. So we talk about soulmates, or we talk about.
It would have to be both though, because if my twin flame is in a relationship, he is in a relationship with a soulmate, you know. So
he's in a special relationship.
Yeah.
Right. And so it is not a special relationship if you are with your twin flame, right?
Well, I was thinking about that too in the car. That's funny. Or earlier,
right?
I was like, is that
because
possible?
of how they're talking about it, it's like weird.
Well, I think that it's possible for it to, for those dynamics to like occur, to be healed, you know. But it's different because with your twin flame, the truth is, I read this somewhere. I should have highlighted it, but. The thing is, with the special relationship, what makes it special is that it can break apart, you know, like how a marriage, no matter how like perfect or sacred or whatever it is, like somewhat, let's say they get a divorce, right? And then eventually hate each other. And if it's in it, like real extreme here, let's say one of them kills each other. Okay, just for extreme
Yeah, there
sake.
was like a morbid thing in there.
So let's just say that, you know, that it's that bad, okay? And so what A Course in Miracles is saying, as far as I can tell, like for that, is that if that was possible for it to go sour, you know, to go into hate, then it was never based on love to begin with, because there is no love versus hate. There's only love. And so, yeah, the thing with twin flames is that, okay, I guess that could happen, right? Like you could vibe out of your union state, or maybe maybe you're in a regular relationship with your twin flame, and for some reason, I don't know, things go really bad, and that happens. But that's different, because at the basis of your core together, there is love, and you two aren't separate. So like my interpretation of that is that, like, you can't be in a truly special relationship with your twin flame.
Yeah, because well, simply put, a special relationship is to destroy reality and substitute illusion. So your twin wouldn't be, because you can't keep illusion around if you're going to be with your twin. Like, that's the whole point. Just transcend that.
So welcome, Angie, to your first book.
Yeah, welcome.
So what we are going to do is, like, you know, we talk a little bit about chapter 16, and now we are discussing, you know, twin flame, soulmate relationships and
Special relationships,
karmic partners and stuff. And Anastasia is going to host tonight's meeting.
Okay.
And I don't know. Are we ready?
And then we'll do you guys want to do, we could see how it goes, but do cards again at the end? I really liked that. But personally, of course I did, but you know, yeah.
Like, what do we want to pull a card, right?
Yeah.
We can. We always like sum up the whole book club session.
Right.
Like a quick one, right?
Yeah, we've had it has to be
right.
quick.
Okay. All right. Try to make it succinct or whatever. Sure. We'll try.
So how long do we want to have this session? Like 20 minutes or max 30?
Like maybe 30 for like the maximum.
Yeah.
So we can do
let's try, like, at 20 minutes, let's try to transition to the card pulling, if you know, or like think about it, right?
Or like start getting into it, like gearing towards it. Okay.
Yeah. Does that sound good?
Sounds perfect.
Cool. Yes.
Okay, so we have read chapter 16 of A Course in Miracles, and it's called The Forgiveness of Illusion. Wow. So for Roman numeral 1, it talks about true empathy. How do we're going to relate that to, I guess that wouldn't even have to do with the whole twin flame dating soulmate thing. What do you guys think?
No, it does. I think the empathy is really a crucial piece. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but you know, when I was reading this, and like I just went to a funeral the other day, that's like really what I was thinking about. Like,
oh yeah, for sure.
Because empathy isn't to hurt anyone, you know, it's to like make everyone stronger, you know, and like the ego doesn't see empathy that way, you know what I mean? So when I was thinking of the funeral, it was weird because somebody texted me and they were just like, thanks for coming, it was really nice. And like, I don't know, it was like a sign of I was like empathizing the right way, you know what I mean? Because you don't like join in pain to empathize. You both like strengthen.
Exactly.
Love.
Yeah.
So the ego uses empathy in order to like join in pain, right? And join the misery and connect in this place with someone. But the Holy Spirit uses empathy in a different way. And how does the Spirit, like the Holy Spirit, use empathy exactly? Do you remember?
Oh, that's a good one. This is the only one I didn't write crazy notes for.
I guess
it's in the very beginning of the chapter. I just read it. It's, you know, I mean, it's basically to it's love, you know, it's like recognizing the love in someone else. I mean, there might be more to it or the way it's written, but it's like kind of the opposite in some ways of what we think of empathy sometimes.
Yeah, because the Holy Spirit doesn't know suffering.
When I think of empathy, I think of compassion. Like they're the same thing.
So yeah, it's interesting because empathy, the true empathy does not mean that you can't like feel compassion, right? Or be compassionate. I think true empathy also is able to acknowledge when someone is hurting, right? But you don't allow yourself to be like dragged down into this kind of space where this person is, maybe. And
yeah.
Is that how you see compassion? Like that's how you see is like relating?
In a way, yeah.
Like I see compassion as holding space for someone.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's really good because I didn't know how I thought it was. Like I knew what it was, but not to put into words.
Yeah, I mean, compassion's I would say a positive thing. You could think of, I mean, I don't know what the definition is, but like calm and then passion, like communicating, camaraderie. I mean, it means like kind of togetherness or something like that, I believe, that prefix. And then passion, you know, has to do with love, and so it's like the togetherness of love. And yeah, but I think we think of compassion, you know, like, oh, have some compassion for the homeless person on the street, and yes, you know, yes, like love the, you know, the person on the street, like recognize the greatness in them, but also, you know, you can't be like dragged into someone else's misery. That doesn't mean that you can't help someone else, you know, if it's appropriate to do so and you feel like genuinely called to do it and all that. But it's like a matter of, you know, like someone, I mean, it happens a lot. It's happened a lot in my family, and, you know, I'm sure it's happened to all of you too, family and friends and relationships and whatever. And it's like, you know, someone's like, oh, I just like I don't know what to do about, like, I can't get over, I don't know, this part of my childhood, or like, oh, my finances are so bad. But it's okay to complain, right? But like you'd kind of start to notice someone's like kind of draining your energy because maybe you're even offering a little bit of advice, say, and you get annoyed because they don't take the advice. And instead they keep on complaining to you. I mean, it's fine if they don't like take your advice and do something else or whatever, but like they're clearly just like, you know, going lower and lower and like continuing to complain, but wanting your attention from it and wanting your advice, but not taking it. And it's like this cyclical thing. And, you know, so at some point you kind of have to recognize that you're relating to them on a lower place, because if you're relating to them just the place of love, you know, then you're like, hey, like, you know, you're making choices here. These are your choices. Like, I can't really relate. I can't communicate with you right now because we're not able to communicate from a place of love. And maybe you have to either, you know, kind of reconfigure your relationship with that person, or put a boundary up, or, you know, let them go or whatever for now. And I mean, that's maybe not what you would necessarily say to them, but it depends. yeah, like it's kind of like a question of, can you find a place of compassion where you're still able to hold space or like communicate with someone, or does that mean, and sometimes it does, actually putting a boundary up, especially with a special relationship? Because like with a special relationship, I mean, it's still that you at the core of this other person, whether, you know, whatever kind of the dynamic of the relationship may be, recognize that they are a child of God, and that, you know, like you recognize that they are made from love and all that. But it's the dynamic between you is such that you can't be in a in like a active relationship with them at this time, but that doesn't mean that you don't love them, you know. It doesn't mean like that you obviously like you don't hate them. The hatred is coming forth because you're choosing to be in this relationship.
Yeah, because you have to put yourself before anyone, really. So, I mean, if something like that is draining you, then you gotta cut that out.
Whew, the Holy Spirit has spoken. Jeez.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
So, should
So
we?
you're basically, sorry, I was just going to say, you're basically saying just don't get stuck in this cycle of being a victim. And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a great word, because I mean, the victim and the blame and the guilt. Yeah.
Well, this is just the thing. If someone gets used to playing a victim, that's all they're going to manifest into their reality is more harsh experiences.
Right. And a lot of this dynamic is also experienced with your twin flame. At least a lot of my clients have this experience. And I've also had this myself, where I feel like I can't really be happy because I feel that my twin flame is not really happy at this time. And so I prefer to join in her misery instead of just having fun, if that makes sense.
Sure. Yeah, it does.
And this is probably the ego's way of using empathy, but you don't want to connect there. You want to acknowledge the true self of your twin flame. It kind of ignore the nonsense. But as we mentioned, you want to be compassionate as well, right? Hold space, recognize that there is something that maybe your twin flame is upheaving at the moment. But then again, don't connect there in a way where you allow yourself to feel this negativity as well, or where you allow the negativity to influence you in a way you don't want to, in a way that doesn't serve you. What you really want to do is enjoy your life, regardless of what is happening with others, right? And you want to connect there with others from that place where you really feel good about your life.
This is kind of why I am really kind of grateful that I have absolutely no idea what's going on in my twin flame's life.
Right?
Like,
Thank you.
absolutely nothing about where he is, what he's doing, you know, so I have no outside distraction. I can only focus on me. And you know, and if I get into that cycle of sitting there wondering, say, okay, I'm going through this, then he must, you know, that's something that I had to clear, was just not concerning myself like really at all with him at all. And the fact that I have like absolutely no access to his life helps. It's not like I've given up or, you know, but it's just I was let go like completely, so that my only communication with him and everything is all inner.
Hmm.
So I don't have to have, I don't have a, because yeah, I was slipping in and out of, holy and special relationship. Like, the greatest gift that he gave me was completely like externally shutting me out.
What a beautiful gift. No, just kidding.
No, actually, it's very helpful.
No, I know. It's just
It sounds like it sucks ass, but I mean, it's. But I mean, it's actually it actually is the best thing they could do for you.
Right.
Well,
yeah.
in my case, I can only speak for my own personal journey, but it was the best thing for us.
Totally.
Your twin flame is loving you always, no matter what they are doing. If they block you, block communication, there's a reason to this, for this.
Yep.
And I would say, if it's appropriate, you won't have contact with your twin flame for a while. And then if you're ready again for contact, it will happen again. And a question came up for me, because you mentioned that you are kind of like enjoying not having contact.
No, I'm not enjoying it at all. No, I want, I don't want to say I desire contact with my, of course I desire, I gotta stop saying want. I desire my harmonious twin flame union. That is ultimately like what I'm, working towards. But during my healing time, like, it's not up to me to decide when that is. It's up to me to do my inner work, and the outer will reflect the inner. And I leave that up to God to show me when that is.
Okay, because you feel you are going to feel inspired when it is the time to reach out to him again. Is that right?
It's been told to me it's better for me to wait for him to reach out to me. Let's just put it that way.
All right. Cool.
Alton.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You want to say something, Anastasia? Go for it.
I was just gonna say, like, I feel like that's for me too. Like, it really is. That's it.
Yeah, I kind of had a revelation this weekend because I was working my ass off at this food festival, and really long days on my feet and everything, and interacting with like God knows how many people. And I was like, I don't have any energy to waste. So yeah, and every time I started thinking like, oh, what if he's like, with her, still with her, with like I feel the love in my heart and what, and so okay, so anytime the thought would even like remotely like go there, I'd be like, oh, and back to earth, because I actually don't have any energy to waste right now on anything. And so I realized that God was showing me enough contrast in my life by like, me making the choices I did have, maybe financially and all that, and the jobs that have appeared my way. So, I've been working a lot, right? And it's good. I'm supporting myself and what I'm doing and all that. But it's kind of like I had to get to that place this weekend to be shown this amazing gift. Like, I indeed am leaking energy every time I start into any kind of a thought pattern about like something kind of like negative, I guess, that I feel could be going on with my twin flame, and associating it with my life somehow. And I'm still kind of like maybe need to think about it more on how to like articulate it, but it was a really great thing to be shown, because I didn't realize how much energy I was leaking until I had been pushed to the point where I was, using all of the energy I was being given, you know, kind of thing, as it was coming to me. So I didn't have any extra energy to kind of, you know, do that crap with. And so yeah, it's just like, yeah, I really I do enjoy my life, and I enjoy like just experiencing stuff from, you know, like through my eyes, like communicating with people the way I communicate with them, and seeing things, being in nature. I don't know, whatever it may be. Like there's a lot going on in my own life, and I am sharing it all, you know, already with God and with everyone that that I am around, and like that is enough. And of course, there's like a yearning in my heart, you know, whisper and like desire and all that. I mean, that's why it's there, right? But at the same time, like I do feel fulfilled. And I think that that's like too part of the thing with the special relationship that we're learning to, I guess I'm keep looking over here at my book. But like, you know, we're learning to undo those kinds of thoughts, because that's how we've really been programmed. And I think all of us have experienced that from day one, pretty much, you know, whether it's like with teachers, with family, or whatever else. And so, yeah, our twin flames are mirroring to us how to undo that, because we can't start like looking outside of ourselves and kind of blaming and guilting, because that's just getting thrown right back, you know, in our faces in one way or the other, but not in a way like, you know, I'm a victim of this terrible blame and guilt and whatever, you know, this, like, it doesn't feel good. And it's just like, you're only being shown that because you are strong enough to like just overcome that, because it doesn't exist, that it is an illusion.
Awesome.
Interesting that you said that, because I'm going through a similar situation at the moment on my twin flame journey, where I'm learning to love myself and have fun on my own in a way. You know, I was really upset the past 2 weeks or stuff like that, because I found out that my twin flame might be dating someone else, right? And I was really hurt as a result. I hurt myself as a result, you know, giving all my power away to the illusion, where I am like, oh, see, that's the proof. She doesn't like me. Union isn't here, it's far away. And the inner work I do is not working. All these things came up for me to heal them. And what I learned is to really no longer forget about myself, right? It wasn't only that I made a special relationship out of my twin flame connection in a way, because I was blaming her and also using her as a proof that I'm not doing well on my journey, which is absolutely false, because the only like true indicator for success and progress is your own inner state of being, your feeling. You can't really tell from the outside how well you are doing on your twin flame journey.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, what I learned is that I want to have a relationship with myself, a holy relationship with myself, right? I don't want to forget about this one. And this is what I'm learning now. And my twin flame is really pushing me into this, because she keeps posting pictures like she's having a great time, you know. And I want this as well. And at first I was thinking, how can she be happy if I am suffering here? It's not a good question to ask. The question to ask is, how can I be as happy as she is? Right?
Exactly.
How can I join the fun? And this is what I'm, focusing on now, is the holy relationship to myself, and how to have fun. This is like a whole new thing and experience for me. It feels like I have to learn it from scratch. Yeah, but I trust that I'm getting there. I trust that everything is well on my journey, that it doesn't really matter what it looks like on the surface, because what she's doing, it is between her and God. So I'm just trusting and focusing on myself and enjoying life, And as a result of the holy relationships that I develop with myself now, I know that there will come a time when I can see this reflected in my outside experience. And it will come in perfect time. So at this time, I really feel like it is time to love myself and let go and trust.
When is it not time to do that?
Yeah. I
now.
hate to say it, but are we gonna bring up the next part of the book now?
Oh, you mean the cards?
No, I mean like the next book part of the book.
What do you,
We did
the next-
like we didn't talk about most of the chapter yet.
we did talk about it, but like just sort of like we touched on it. We haven't read any quotes, but I did want to say something like like about the inner and the outer reflecting or not, it's all inner, I guess. What your twin flame is posting and choosing to share with you, you can look at it as kind of like that, simulation if you are seeing stuff, just as your own healing work. And also, like, you don't know how another person is, what they're experiencing by what they're posting on the outside. So it's just like, if you're imagining that your twin flame is like having an amazing time and you're not, like, that in and of itself is kind of like you just putting your amazing time outside of yourself and feeling like, you have to get to it somehow or something. And the amazing time is already within you, that you feel like that's, and maybe that is just like, what they're even showing you on the outside, or maybe they're having an amazing time. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Yeah, that's so true.
So yeah, we kind of like talked about the chapter, like not from paragraph 1 to the end, but we did it in a like different way.
Yeah, we could each, if we feel like there's time, we could each quickly choose a quote and sum that up.
I have one.
Okay.
Let me find it 1 second. Yeah. Here it is. It's a short one. It says, your part is only this. You do not want anything you value to come of a relationship. Did you get that?
Yeah.
You do not want anything you value to come of a relationship. And actually, I'm not sure about this.
It's mind screwing.
Yeah, about this quote, because I always thought that everything comes of your relationship to God.
Yeah.
Maybe it means different relationships here.
I understand what it means, I think, because I've been there with like familial stuff. Like, I've depended on other people, like besides my parents, for instance, as like kind of second parents. So that's like an example I have. Okay. And I put a lot of value in their love because it's like, it's like I kind of thought I was I don't know, like deserving of having great parents, and I didn't feel that I had a great childhood, you know. And so like other family members kind of stepped in and fulfilled that role to an extent for a period of time. But I placed value in that relationship rather than just like loving them, you know, and being loved kind of thing. It turned into a kind of, there was some dependence there. There was the blame and the guilt for sure, and anxiety, and it took time for it to unfold and for it to show itself. It didn't look like that at first or feel like that. So I don't know if that makes sense the way I said it.
Absolutely.
But yeah, okay. So yeah, that's my
it
example.
does, because I know what you mean, and if you like put value into something, then if it doesn't work out, you like get all, what's the word, sad or something, like
Right, you have expectations, I guess,
Yeah.
and so does the other party.
Right.
Yeah, you don't want to depend like on others, right?
Yeah.
Right, and it doesn't mean you can't like have help from others or whatever, but yeah, it's like when you are surrendered and you're in harmonious union with God, then like you're not putting that kind of value into those relationships. You're not like seeing your own worth in your relationship with another. I think that's what it is too, because I've been there, like where it's like you kind of, it's like, oh, I did a good job today, this person, you know, is clearly loving me right now, or like, oh, that, I feel funny about what they said, maybe I'm kind of nah, you know.
I know what you mean.
Right, when that's, you know, bullshit. So
yeah, it's goofy to us now, but like we used to do all that shit all the time.
True story. Yeah.
Very good. So do you want to do another quote, or?
I just have something to say, because it's kind of a quote, but I didn't do it word for word, and I have no idea where it is in this book. So basically, special relationships like to join heaven and hell together to make them indistinguishable. And when I was reading that part, it like makes you think like, yeah, you're really like in heaven or whatnot, and keep like making you procrastinate on healing your shit, basically. But I was comparing this to like when we learn in Twin Flame school what the lure is, like how, like, you know, say like I'm somewhere and this guy comes up to me and he's like, oh, you want to go on a date? I am so awesome, blah 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 blah. And I'm just like, definitely not, because I know like the truth is that, you know, I want to be with my twin flame, so I don't even have a second to waste in that. But that whole him trying to, you know, take me on a date or whatever, that's like the lure, you know. You guys remember that, like when Jeff says it?
I've never actually heard Jeff say that.
I don't remember the word, but I know exactly what you're talking about, and I feel like I just get what you mean, you know. And it's an energy thing. It's like, hey, sorry, you're trying to get some energy from me there, and I don't have any to give you. So either you're going to go away or you're going to snap out of it and be able to relate to me, like, you know, and we like probably not. I don't know, like kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's like it always sounds promising and all that, but it's not.
Right.
What Anastasia was talking about, a special relationship, heaven and hell, that is like contact from your twin flame. When you have contact from your twin flame, it's heaven, But if you go like 2 months without hearing from them, you've put yourself in hell.
Mm.
So that's how it's a special relationship. You're depending on them for your happiness.
Excellent.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I see what
Very
you
good.
were saying.
Yeah.
Right, but it's not a true special relationship, but it's I feel like it's healing that, right? It's
Yeah.
like healing your
Mhm.
ability to have well, your
Independence.
ability, your relationship with God for one, but yeah, just because
Yeah,
like the twin flame's never going to go away. Yeah.
But it's the illusion. It's the
Right.
illusion like that this person completes you.
Mhm.
That any person completes you. Yeah, like
Yeah.
just how you see relationships in general.
Yeah. So you can like kind of make it a special relationship like
Yes.
at the moment,
Yeah.
but like it's
Yep.
not one,
No.
right?
Yeah. At its core, it's a holy relationship. Yeah.
Perfect. At the core, every relationship is a holy relationship,
Yeah.
True.
and only we
Very
It all
can
good.
make it
depends.
a
Yeah.
special.
What did you say?
Who?
Which one?
I said true.
Okay.
Okay. Hey guys, I think it's time for the card.
All right.
Okay. Just
Absolutely.
pulling it.
Who's gonna pull one? I
Oh.
have my card decks here, so
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Okay. My cards are in the other room.
yeah.
I
let's
could go there, but
I have mine
I
too.
will shuffle,
I can see
shuffle,
it.
shuffle.
Is he using the same ones as you, Alden?
I don't know.
Yes. I'm using the decks that we all have. Angel Answers, I think.
Yeah. I love that deck.
No. It's Angel Tarot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have both of those though.
So, I don't know, you probably cannot read this. So
Move it down a little.
7 of air.
Okay.
7 of air. Okay. We're good. Sorry.
it says, plans that need revision, more going on than meets the eye, poor timing.
Is that about our is that about is that what we were pulling the card for? Like to conclude this? That's so funny. I think
Maybe we're gonna need another card. I feel like I was kind of feeling the whole time like we needed to pull more than one card, but I'm not saying that it's this is the right card for right now. But it might go a little longer because that's my intuition there with that. But the 7 of air to me, I mean, 7 is like a super holy number, right? And air is very like it's not necessarily rooted, and it's what do I want to say, like traveling around freely kind of. And it reminds me of is towards I think the end of chapter 16, although it's kind of thrown in there, is that the bridge that you cross to
yes, I love that part
with God. And it reminds me of being on the other side of the bridge where you're still on that journey to going over it, but kind of understanding, having the feeling of that connection, and also like reading it in A Course of Miracles, and that how that is like the eternity that we are a part of, even if we haven't, I guess, gotten there yet. That's like what's in us.
Excuse me.
Yeah, and I think what it also, the message for the collective that is watching, it says there's more going on than meets the eye, and
Oh,
I guess
that's
that's pretty
beautiful.
obvious, right? So don't believe in the illusion or the surface of what you perceive. Like also true for my situation and your situations. We don't really know what's going on, and a lot of things are going on behind the surface, right? Behind the curtain.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Mhm. I have 2 more cards.
Ooh.
One is 6 of fire.
Oh yeah, I pulled that card like twice.
Victory! I see victory.
Right. It says victory. Good news is on its way. Public recognition or awards.
So that's
Right,
like
we're all gonna be famous.
Yeah.
True though. I mean, if we're like the first people doing this shit, we have to be famous because there's 7 billion people on here.
On here, I like how you said on here.
On here. Around about here. Yeah. Yeah, there's only 4 people currently in harmonious twin flame union too. So.
Right.
On the planet.
Yeah, on the planet.
Jeff and Shelia are not in harmonious union, you know, because they are a triple set.
Oh, that's right.
So technically, they are not in harmonious union, and Jeff also says this.
Yeah, that's right.
But to be the example to us without complicating things, to the normal human being that doesn't know what we're talking about, they would probably still think they were in harmonious union, you know?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And they are definitely capable of leading others into harmonious union.
Yeah.
Well, maybe then the message of the card is like the victory within us all is already in front of us, and that's the point. Is we're putting like, I don't know, I guess labels or expectations and all this whatever, but like the truth is that we are victorious, and it's like a matter of accessing that within, and recognizing ourselves for that and each other too.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, victory is always here. And also it says, just keep going and it will work out.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
There was another card.
Ooh.
But you know, like what Anastasia was saying, like, you know, when you think about it, 7 billion people. I mean, and the fact that we have all met our true twin flames. Like that is like pretty phenomenal. You know, more people are becoming aware of twin flames now, but still very few people actually know.
Right.
Yeah.
More and more.
That's where we step in.
Absolutely, and that's exactly why we're going to be famous.
Right. And that horse, the man on the horse is stepping in. He's like stepping into the town, and they're like, hello, let's post photos everywhere.
You will like the next card.
Oh.
Can you see it?
Lovers.
I like that one.
How do you pronounce this? The chariot? Or something?
Chariot.
Chariot. Okay. It's my favorite archangel. It's Metatron.
He's mine too.
And it says, an important achievement, self-discipline and willpower, public recognition.
More public recognition.
Yeah, double. We got double
double trouble.
I can't talk.
This reading looked very similar to one that Alden did not very long ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've pulled all those cards in my readings of
very recently.
Yeah. A couple of them recently. One of them was the eclipse. The chariot was like right after the eclipse. It was like the end of August or beginning of September or whatever.
But the chariot's awesome though. I mean, that's fast moving energy.
Right. The ability to do things like kind of beyond time, you know.
Oh, I love
constraints
that.
of time.
Yeah.
Hate time constraint.
Yeah.
Well, we're like basically like we're like already on the chariot really because we are like because we're all students at Twin Flame Ascension School. I mean, that is fast tracking like our union. It's the quickest way. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the viewer watching this also fast tracking their union because of our love.
That's true.
Right,
Our sense of
collective consciousness.
Very good. Cool.
Yeah, cool.
Cool. Well, I guess this concludes our book club.
I'm actually really surprised because your other videos were like all like an hour and a half. So I was like all prepared to sit here for a couple hours and talk about
We've been trying to improve like the more we do it. So that's so funny.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So how often do you guys like is good for you guys to meet? Like, is it once a month the best, most practical, or every other week, or?
We just kind of play it by ear because I think our schedules is just when the time when we all want, we'll just check in and
We get
Yeah.
the feel.
Yeah, pretty
Okay.
much, because there was a time where we were doing it like every other week, and then we waited a month, and then, you know what I mean? So we never know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one
Okay.
took us a while, the last one, right? From
Yeah, this was the longest.
yeah.
yeah. I could see why now, though. I mean, I don't mean like I have a reason why, but I just like feel like this was perfect timing,
It always is.
Truth. Yeah.
Awesome.
Very cool.
Bye,
right.
guys.
All right.
Bye.
Bye
I
bye.
enjoyed my first class or
Nice.
club.
Book.
club get together. Anyways, thank you guys for hooking me up.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank
thank you.
you.
All right, so we'll see you guys on the
Next
board.
time.
Yeah, great
All right.
session. Bye bye.
All right.
All right.
Ciao.
Bye, guys.